Everybody, you are listening to All About Healing, and I'm your host, Emily Francis. And we have our fabulous producer with us, Jay, who I love and am so grateful for. So thank you, Jay, for being with us on the show. We just had Drew Taddia on the show today, and he has a company. It's True Form Life, and he's such a firecracker. You know, he really is a game changer. He's worked really hard. He played baseball and traveled around the world playing baseball, and now he has his own radio show, and his whole world is about health and wellness, longevity, good workouts, and eating super, super clean, plant-based diet and all that good stuff. And now they have a YouTube channel, Cooking with Dorothy. That's his wife. And I was totally impressed with them. So Emily's Energy Corner today, I pick my subjects based on what's going on in the world around me personally and what kind of things I find myself thinking about and then thinking, oh, I should share that. So today's healing journey is all about the actual journey. So I want people to understand this because I have come a long way. I've conquered my own major severe anxiety and panic where I was pretty much agoraphobic there for a long time. And I suffered for about 7 years of really intense anxiety and panic. And when people meet me, they're like, no, not you. You're not anxious. I give off such a good faux impersonation of somebody who's super comfortable and healthy and happy. And now I actually am that person. And it took so many years to earn that and get that and become that. And then recovering my child through an autism spectrum disorder, we've had a lot of healing go on in our house. But when I say this, or when I talk about that I believe in miracle healing or that healing is available to everyone, I do mean this, but I want everybody to understand something that is very, very vital in your journey. And that is that this does not mean that you start at the bottom of the mountain and then you just keep climbing upwards and upwards and upwards and everything gets better. That's just BS. What happens is you get up, you climb, you fall down on your butt, you lay down on your back and think, nope, that's it. It's never going to work for me. And then you take your time to get back up and do another step. And this healing is a journey. Nobody just, unless you spontaneously heal, which I think is awesome. And if you have spontaneously healed, please email me and get in touch with me because I think that's beautiful and glorious. But for the average person that has worked really hard to heal, then understand that we fall down all the time. There is no perfect, exact healing journey where you get everything that you've ever wanted and life is perfect and then it stays perfect. That's just not real. And even though people in general don't necessarily share a lot of their setbacks, authors share them, but they share them in their books. I didn't go in and start writing a blog about how hard things were. I didn't start doing videos or sharing my journey because I never knew if I was going to get through it. I did write, my way through a book, but it never, I wasn't thinking like, who's going to read this? I was just thinking, I'm going to journal because I don't know what else to do and I'm so alone and I can't figure out how to get better. But I think that people miss the part where you fall down. And I think that people miss the part where you fall down and it's okay that you fall down. So today, one of my dearest friends who I love, and respect has lupus. And lupus has plagued her adult life. It's been really hard. And there was a few years ago, actually, I was like 8.5 months pregnant and she kind of did the white flag SOS, if anybody could help. I really need the help. And she has a whole family and several kids. And I went and drove up there to stay with her and help her while she was going through this. And I had no idea how bad it really was. It was very, very hard to watch a friend barely be able to breathe. And while this was going on, the school counselor called because her child went to the counselor saying, my mom is dying. And it was horrifying and it was so sad and it was scary. And the fact that she came through that bout and then went and saw a specialist in another state and they took her off half the medicine she was on. And then she found supplements that made her really healthy, and her husband work out every day, and they've really just completely changed their life. And it's interesting because while I was on with Drew, I was talking about the difference between pasta that you make from home, from scratch, from eggs and whatever, versus a bowl of pasta. And it's funny because it was when I was staying with her that I made this bowl of pasta and chicken and spinach. I used to make this big recipe. And when I ate the bowl of pasta, I was so shaky and jittery because it was too much for my blood sugar at the time. And I remembered that it like locked in my memory of like, oh wow, I can't have pasta while I'm pregnant, and it really affected me. But it was at her house. And when I was at her house at the time, back then, she had like I don't know, Pop-Tarts and Lunchables and all kinds of processed food for her kid. And then I went to the grocery store for her, and I'd come back with all this organic food and fresh fruits and vegetables. And, and I spent a fortune, and she was kind of like, oh, I wonder if I should eat like that. I don't know. And then she totally surpassed me and became this super health guru. And now she eats really healthy and she works out all the time. And she has become this huge advocate for lupus and for health and longevity and the way that she's taken control of her health. And then today she put a video up and she was crying and she said, I like to be the motivator. I like to be the inspiration. But today I'm really afraid. I've had a few really bad days. I can't get out of bed. My feet hurt. This hurts. This hurts. It's hard to breathe. And I'm so afraid of having another flare up. And I want all you guys to think of me as this inspiration and motivator. And here I am crying and I'm scared. And I thought, you know what? That is what made me think about Emily's Energy Corner today, because nobody has it perfect. And even if you are the inspiration person and the motivator, it's so beautiful to be real, especially when you're dealing with an autoimmune disease. You don't have a say-so. You can take control of it and live the healthiest life that you can, but that doesn't mean you're never going to have a flare-up. And partially, she has a lot of stress happening right now, and stress is one of the biggest precursors to any flare-up coming back in your life. The way that we hold stress, especially as parents, if it's something about our kids, we stress and swallow it, and it grows like a little bit of a monster inside our body, and it takes us down. But it's okay to go down. So on your healing journey, when you have the hard times or you go back, or then you start thinking, oh, I'm not healed, I'm not better, I'm a loser, I'm a this and that. I did that with my anxiety journey. Every time I thought I got better, I would have some big setback, and then I would beat myself into oblivion of how what a liar I was and a phony, and I can't believe I've talked about my journey with anxiety and now I'm back like this. Now I'm lucky because it's been several years that I've been able to really hold on to my health and my mental health and stay away from that anxiety trap. But it took years of practice, and it still doesn't mean that I don't get it. It just means that I know how to manage it now. But when you're on your healing journey for whatever it is that you're going through and you have a setback, just lay there for a little while. So if you have to sit out or you want to lay down, do it. And don't beat yourself up for it. Take that time out. Give yourself that love and that praise, and understand that this also is not permanent. It's not going to be the end of your healing journey. It's not. And so that's the point of today, is that when you're on your journey, go with that journey. But each time you get up, relish getting up. Give yourself so much love and praise and support, because you know how hard that was. And then on those days and those times, months, weeks, I don't know, they can last. When you have those setbacks, that just prepares you for a much bigger comeback. So be okay with sitting out. It doesn't mean that you've lost your place as the motivator or the inspiration or the healthy person or anything that you want to be or that you're trying to be or that you thought you had found. Nothing is permanent, and life ebbs and flows all the time. Energy ebbs and flows in everything that we do, in every part of our life. So why is it that sometimes when we fall down a little bit, we somehow think that it's over, or that that's it, our game is over. What we've built our career on is done. But that's not true. So if you need to take a time out today or for the next week or however long you need it, just take it and don't beat yourself up for it. That's how the healing journey continues. You guys, thanks for listening. I hope to see you back here next week. You've been listening to All About Healing. I'm Emily Francis. Thanks for being here, and make it a great day.